Hello, welcome friends. My name is Avinash and I welcome all of you to another interesting episode of Corporate Face-to-Face series. Friends, as all of you are aware, we introduce to you emerging companies from emerging sectors and make it a point to talk to the promoters and the top managements of such companies. In this process, we get a lot of valuable information from the top management and the promoters about the company's business model, their growth journey, their future growth plans. And this helps all the investors to take a very conscious call when they invest in such companies. And friends, today we've got another interesting company which operates in the workspace space. And the company's name is Nukleus Office Solutions Limited. And I have the privilege and pleasure of having the top management. In fact, all of them are here. I have Mr. Ajay Singhal, who's the CEO. Ajay ji, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for sparing your valuable time with us today. I'm quite sure, sir, in this small interaction, we'll be able to understand your company's operations in a much better way for all our investors.
Thank you, Avinash, for inviting us to your show.
Yeah.
We look forward to sharing
Yeah.
our business with you and your viewers.
Yeah. We also have Mr. Madan Lohia, who is the Senior Vice President. Madan ji, आपको भी बहुत
Good
thank you
afternoon.
time spend करने के लिए. We also have Mr. Gaurav Guliani, who's the CFO of the company. Gaurav, welcome to the show.
Hello,
Yeah.
and thank you so much for having me in
We
your
have
show.
Mr. Nitin Somani, who's the Director of Sunday Capital, who are the merchant bankers to the company. So
Thank you.
without wasting time, Ajay ji, I'll start with the first question. Sir, हमको आपके कंपनी के बारे में थोड़ा बताइए. We want to understand what is the business about our company. When did this business begin? And sir, what is the positioning of our company? Because workspaces have become a very hot spot. Now people understand what is the meaning of workspaces, what are the benefits they bring to the clients. Tell us, what is the positioning of our company in the domestic market currently? And sir, how did this business start? Like, if you could tell us something about your business journey. ये बिजनेस आपने कैसे शुरू किया, वेदर इट इज अ फर्स्ट जनरेशन एफर्ट और वेदर योर फादर स्टार्टेड इट एंड देन यू टुक इट ओवर. सर, इसके बारे में कुछ बताइए. सो प्लीज शेयर योर थॉट्स.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for this question. It will be interesting to share our journey with you. Actually, the business was started by Nipun Gupta, who is the founder of our company. Unfortunately, today he is not with us out here, but he's the first generation entrepreneur. His journey started very early at 14 years of age, but this particular business he started in 2019 when there was a commercial real estate available within the family, and he, instead of renting it out, he saw the opportunity of co-working spaces where people are preferring asset light kind of a model, and that's how the whole concept started.
Okay.
And unfortunately, during the COVID period, there was a little hiccup to start with. So 2021 onwards, the company has really seen a tremendous growth because the businesses came back with a vengeance, where people were trying to stay away from communal areas, common areas. They wanted to come back full force to the office because everybody was sick and tired of sitting at home and staring at four walls. So it really gave a big impetus to our business, and we continued to grow. We started from Noida, which is the headquarter, and the building there is 12 floors and almost like 1 lakh plus square feet of area is populated. That was the that was the start and is the headquarter of the company. And then from there, we continued to expand into the local market, which is the Delhi NCR. So Noida, multiple centers, then Delhi, multiple centers, and also then moved on to Gurgaon. So currently, this is the expanse of our coverage.
Okay.
And as far as positioning is concerned, we can succinctly say that we are positioned for the mid segment. We give a 5-star experience at a 3-star price. So you come with your laptop. It's a play and plug, plug and play model. Nothing else is required. We will take care of the entire amenities, be it internet or electricity or housekeeping, beverages. all the services are taken care of by us. You
Okay.
just come. So that's the positioning and our expense currently.
Okay.
Uh,
No, understood. Ajay one important question is, in terms of your customer profile, if you could share some names, which are the B2B customers, which presently Nucleus actually caters to. Some of the names, if you could share for the benefit of our viewers. And you mentioned that geographically you're present in Noida, Delhi, so northern part of India. Tell us what
yeah.
is the total number of seats which we currently have as of now?
So we have currently around 2,800 seats in these 7 co-working areas and 4 managed offices
Okay.
in the Delhi NCR area.
Okay.
And some of the clients which I can name, many which we can't because there is no specific
Yeah.
approval from their side.
Yeah.
But some of the customers have been with us for long and they have consented in writing that
Okay.
we can share their names. So I can take those. Nuama is one of such
Okay.
clients.
Okay.
Then there is Splendor, which is a real estate company. There is Virsa, which is a IT company.
Okay.
Mahindra Group company, Sustain is one of the marquee customers that we
Okay.
have.
Okay.
Uh, One of the arms of Standard Chartered Bank, Solve, they are also our customer. So
Okay.
likewise, there are quite MobiKwik is
Okay.
another customer.
Okay.
So we have a mix of large customers and startups,
Okay.
very small, uh, freelancers, independent business owners. So the gamut, the whole range of business people are associated with us.
So fine. I think nice to know that, Ajayji. Ajayji, now tell us one thing very briefly, just to understand your business model. Typically, when you talk to such kind of large corporates, do you have a kind of a enterprise agreement, like you got a 2 3 year kind of agreement with them, or typically these are as and whenever they require the seats, they give you a call, and depending on their requirements, you obviously obligate them. But अगर 2 3 साल का कुछ do we have any term contracts with them? And secondly, how much of our business is actually repeat business? If you could share that.
Okay. So the managed offices, for example, are all long-term contracts
Okay.
and back-to-back covered with our lease market. We take a 9-year lease and similarly back-to-back
Yeah.
offer to our managed office customer. So there is a lock-in and there is a long-term arrangement with
Correct.
them. So continuity of business is assured with
Correct.
these managed people. In the co-working space, there are long-term agreements up to 3 years also.
Okay.
And 1 year to 3 year lock-in is
Okay.
typically the
Okay.
norm.
Okay.
And there are other end of the spectrum also where clients come to us for a particular project for a duration, let's say 3 months, six
Correct.
months, and then they leave us also because their project has got over, or they took an expansion and then reduced back because that project is over. So
Okay.
it's a mix of all the things.
Okay. Understood. So I think Ajayji, one critical number which is important in our industry. Since you told us, what are the number of seats you currently run, the locations you have, can we come to know, on a very simple blended basis, what is the average realization per seat which we have been getting for, say, the last couple of years, like?
Actually, this number is very deceptive. I can give you a number by dividing the revenue with the number of,
No, but
I mean, dividing revenue with the
Ajayji, let
number.
us make it very simple to you. Then what is the parameter by which we can evaluate a business like co-work spaces? You tell us which parameter is important so that we can understand, your company's financials in a much better way.
So I think the occupancy and the speed of occupancy, these are the two parameters which are important.
Okay.
And currently we stand at 88% occupancy. But
Okay.
when we open any new center, it takes a certain time to fill
Yeah.
up the center.
Correct.
So that speed is what is important. And typically for us to fill up a center to a reasonable level, we consider a 6 to 9 months period, a
Okay.
good period,
Okay.
where profitability is relatively ensured. And
Okay.
this is total time from the start of that particular center.
Correct.
Start meaning when we take the lease and now we are starting the fit out period, including that fit out.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Understood. Gaurav, one question to you, basically because this is a little financial related question. As Ajay said, it takes about 8 to 9 months for the unit to get fairly operational. So can we expect that normally in the next 8 to 9 months, whenever a new center is launched, can we expect break even to start from that time? Like, at least our basic overhead costs are recovered.
Yeah, the break even has already been break even we'll be able to achieve in next 3 to 6 months or so,
Okay.
while opening the center.
Okay.
So it takes the occupancy will be achieved 80 to 70%, 80% in 4 to 5 months or 4 to 6 months basically.
Okay.
But the
Okay.
break even we'll be able to achieve in next 4 to 6 months
Okay.
after opening the center.
Okay. And typically when you say 80, 85 or 88%, what Ajay ji mentioned, can we take it up to a level of say 90, 95%? Is it
Yeah,
possible?
definitely.
Okay.
We'll be able to achieve break even in 6 months,
Okay.
but after 8 months or even 1 year's time, we'll
Okay.
be able to achieve 95%, 94% in particular respective center.
Okay.
Mr. Luya can add to
Yeah, Mr.
that.
Gaurav, please.
Yeah, thank you. So this averaging out is good, but in a case of ours, like we always try to find the locations where we are able to fill the centers very fast.
Correct.
So two things would make us different or viable from an investor's viewpoint as well. How fast we are able to fill the center and at what prices we are filling. So prices means the cost plus.
Correct.
So our normal intent would be that whatever be the cost, at least it should be ahead of that. In terms of percentage, it might translate to 5 to 10%, but when it will be translated to return on investment,
Yeah.
it should be translated to 10 to 15, 12, and it would vary from center to center. So there is a center, for example, in Connaught Place. I should be able to get a break-even, which is 6 months. There could be centers which might take 8 months. There would be entry-level strategies. For example, I'm new to certain cities. I'll have to work hard, beat
Exactly.
the competition. So it would be little subjective, but if I have a 3 to 6 months of rent-free period and I'm able to do my fit-out period very fast,
Yeah.
anything around 6 to 8 months, in certain cases 4 to 6 months, I
Okay.
should be able to bring to a break-even.
Okay.
And then it is my intent to try and reach hard. 85% is something which I target lowest.
Okay.
Certain cases I'll have 90, 95%. Average could be around in that range.
So, understood. I think very nicely explained, Madanji. Madanji, now tell me one thing in terms of the competitive intensity. In northern India, there are many other players. I mean, how are we looking at, competitive intensity? Is there a place for everyone to grow? Because this concept is new, but it is fast growing. People now believe that rather than buying their own space, doing their own office, they prefer to go to a co-work spaces where obviously all the facilities are offered to them at one go. So, typically, what is the broad competitive intensity which you see, as of now? Is it very fierce or is there, I mean, a quality player like you are growing consistently? तो सर अपॉर्चुनिटी सबके लिए है या इसमें थोड़ा बहुत अंडरकटिंग भी होता है to just get the customer?
So I would divide the market, sir, into three places as we have been talking in our statements. So one is the top 10%. Let's say my elder brothers, like maybe WeWorks and others. Then let's talk about the bottom, more than 70%. And then the space which is reserved for people like us, 15 to 20%, which itself is a huge volume. So there's a lot of space. Now the space would be more and more vacated by the bottom 70% because people will not feel comfortable to work with those 70% who have no community engagements, no experience. They just open one or two center because you had some floor and you just wanted to, you
Correct.
thought that you can run co-working. Co-working is not running by one or two centers. Now, in terms of numbers, I think I was going through one of the IPC's report of 2024. I believe it's about 20% of the leasing activity was in favor of the flex operator, which means whatever space was leased out in 24, approx 20% was taken by flex operator. And this was about 15 million square feet. So if 15 million square feet is is the number which flex operator has taken. Cities like Delhi NCR, extreme dearth of a right space for a co-working operator, which means we need more supply than we can meet the demand.
Okay.
Now, in my competing state, there would surely be 5 to 7 persons to compete. And I think that is where we need to be, that we love competition and we should be able to beat the competition in terms of my brand image, my leads, my cost, my retention, as very rightly said. And I think you touched it. Whole word is, so somebody said that future is co-working, future is flex office. I think that's a wrong statement. It's not future, it is present.
Correct.
It has already achieved. No good person, good occupant would be looking for a conventional business space, office space, especially after the COVID period.
Correct.
No Gen Z people want asset heavy model. They all want asset light. I don't need to invest into furniture, fixture, long-term
Correct.
leases, and flexible to expand, flexible to get out of the place if my business is not working.
Correct.
And that is where organizations like Nukleus are there to support these entrepreneurs.
No, I think very nicely mentioned by you. Ajay ji, now one question, keeping aside the financials away for some time. Now, what Mr. Madan said was right. Like, there's a huge market opportunity, but in what way do we add value to our customers? Obviously customers come to us because they see value in us. They see that our service and our, systems and offices are much better. Sir, 2-3 qualitative points बताइए जिससे I can understand that we do a slightly better job and we are actually improving day by day. So 2-3 qualitative points, if you could share for our viewers, like how are we better than others, and in what way, are we better than competition, so that more business and more repeat business comes to us and we continue to grow.
Right. Though you directed this question to me, I think Mr. Loya will be the better
Madan ji, sorry
person.
for that. If you can please answer.
Thank you, Ajay sir. So, why we are better or why the customers would love to stay with us? I am not talking about the pre-sales. I am talking about the post-sales. After the customer has come to me, he has started occupying my space. What is it which he is going to get? The price. Price is always with reference to the service.
Correct.
So we normally talk in our organization, in the community we are famous for, that, oh, Nukleus, they have a 3-star kind of price, but you can almost expect a 5-star kind of service, plus minus something. So you have positioned yourself for the people, those who are not looking to pay for 5-star or 7-star and not 1 or 2-star. So one is my customers get a price which he considers value for money. A. B. When I offer my customers at that point of time, it is complete transparent deals. And this pedigree comes from the management, Mr. Gupta, promoter, CEO. We have a very clear lay-down system. Whether you take a 1 seat, sir, you take 1,000 seats, 500 seats, or 10,000, 20,000 square feet. Right from the 0 day, my agreement terms would be shared, though nobody shares at the time of proposal stage. Everybody keep stars marked, terms and condition apply. We don't do that.
Okay.
Why? Moment the customer occupied, he start looking into my agreement, terms condition. I don't want him to come and focus on decoding the agreements. I want him to focus on the business. I need to understand. I have given him an assurance. Please come. Don't worry about the infra. I'll take care. There may be service requirements, internet, electricity, hygiene, housekeeping. I say them that, sir, you leave it. And if you raise a concern, if I don't respond in a most appropriate, fastest manner, then I'm not worth my business. So second is, we differentiate with a human touch also. So the price is also there, my experience, and transparent terms condition. My experience, I would assure you, sir, you have a wonderful experience. After I invite you, I'm not saying there will not be service issues, but the way the team respond to it, do they respond with a smile? They crib how fast they do, or they first ask, sir, isme to paisa lagega? No, that can't be the first question. First question is, I'll resolve your issue. Later on, we'll look at whether the agreement wants me to charge you or not to charge. So maintaining all those services which are committed. What are services which I'm committing? This is very simple, sir. I give you the very good office space with electricity, power backup, internet, housekeeping, a very vibrant culture. I won't say silent zone, but there are no noises like call centers. And beyond everything else, I'm saying I'm not giving you just the office space. We are giving you an experience. I'm selling an experience. So
Exactly.
my experience include lot of community engagement. If
Okay.
you are not able to enjoy the community engagement, networking, actually you are not getting into a co-working space. A
Exactly.
co-working is also all about the experience which the customer gets. So I think these four elements we normally try to focus,
Okay.
and I'm sure that my competition also does good. We try our level best that we are a step ahead of that.
So I
I
think
think
nice.
I add to that just one a small thing that essentially, if we become invisible, Nucleus becomes invisible to the client, then that is the achievement that we are looking for, because they are there experiencing the place rather than struggling on a day-to-day basis to achieve their business. So that
Exactly.
is one part of the thing. And the other is every day they should be coming and experiencing a new thing, and not, oh God, again I have to go to the same office.
Correct.
Every day it's a community, it's a new feeling.
I think rightly said, Ajay ji. I think, people should be excited to come to the workplace. That is
Yeah.
very, very important. Now, let's come to the financials. I think, I was just seeing the FY24 numbers, very strong numbers, almost 17 crores top line and profit after tax of 1.2 crores. Profits have doubled. So, first question, Gaurav, to you, I think would be that, what was the reason? Was it availability of more seats, better pricing, better execution? I think on FY24 and first 9 months, it's also been very strong. I think 21 crores top line and almost 1.5 crores PAT up to December. So, on both these periods, what was it that actually drove the numbers, both in terms of top line and profitability? If you could share your thoughts.
Yeah, Avinash. So, Avinash, over the last 3 years, our 1 lakh square feet has been added up in our. We have operated 1 lakh square feet. So the revenue from financial year 21 to 23, which is from 3 crores to 17 crores, March 24 number, and 21 crores in the last 9 months of financial year 25. So we have added 1 lakh square feet. This is the reason the revenue has been added up. Plus the PAT, we have cut down on expenses. We have making our expenses more. We have used our expenses more efficiently. This is the reason our PAT has been increased, and the top line, which has been increased from 3 crores to 21 crores this financial year 25.
And Gaurav, now since we are already in February, without giving a number, if you could just tell us on a very broad level, what's the kind of outlook which you could share? Because, January, February, and now March financial year will end. इस साल में क्या लगता है? Can we do better than last year? I think if you can even tell us, in a descriptive way, that will help us.
Nitin.
So I think Nitin will.
For the banker, I'll just give an answer. So we are bounded by the regulatory
No, I
framework
think
also.
don't give us numbers,
So-
but I think at least
No,
how
I'll-
does the demand picture look? That is something which we would like to hear from you guys.
हमारी स्माइल आपको बता देंगे सर how confident we are.
So we are going
I'll
on.
just give you few details. So currently the company is having around 2796 seats, 2796, which is running at an occupancy of roughly 88-89% as of 31st of December. With the proceeds of the issue, around 22.9 crore is going for expansion into capex side.
Okay.
That capex to be done in 5 different sectors. One is proposed to be opened in Gurgaon, for which company has already signed a lease agreement with IFCO.
Okay.
Another lead, and one center is proposed to be opened in Ahmedabad, one in Delhi, and 2 in Bangalore.
Okay.
Because Ahmedabad and Bangalore are coming up as a bigger business centers, and the company, if they plan to put their footprint pan India, so they need to penetrate into these markets. This is totally 105,000 square feet of super built-up area, and the carpet area will translate into roughly 65,000.
Okay.
It will lead to an addition of around 13 to 1400 seats, and it is expected to be completed in the next financial year.
Okay.
The new markets are always tricky for the company also, because they have to expand into new market. They have to do the advertising spend also. So accordingly, company is planning to raise around 50 lakh for the purpose of advertisement also, which will include the existing markets also and the new markets also, to
Okay.
build up the faster occupancy rate.
Okay. So basically, can we assume that, when you said next financial year, so basically it should start from, say, April or May onwards, hopefully, I think this expansion. Oh,
So CapEx is a little heavy model. It takes a
yeah.
little time to build up the interior furniture,
Oh, yeah.
fixture,
Yeah.
sitting
The
area.
fit outs and all
Certain of
that.
the offices will
Yeah.
be built to suit also.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the management plan that entire this money of 22.9 crore will be utilized in the next financial by the end of next financial year.
Okay.
Full year revenue probably will start coming later from
Yeah.
thereafter. But the next financial year, some of the portions will get completed in the first quarter as
Okay.
per the
Okay.
plan, and the remaining will conclude in the next quarter.
I think it's a good strategy, Nitin, because that will help you to actually geographically spread out your risk. You all will come out of North India and obviously go to other promising markets like Ahmedabad, Bangalore. So that's definitely good to know. Now, Gaurav, if you could just tell me, normally what's the working capital cycle in our business? If you could just give us a broad idea, how does the cycle work in our industry?
So Avinash, all our advance, all the money which all our revenue basically, along with the security deposit, the new clients, has been received in advance in the first
Okay.
week of every month basically.
Okay.
So our receivable cycle is very short,
Okay.
and our working capital has been structured to ensure liquidity and the operational efficiencies.
Okay. Fine.
So our debtors are basically, we are able to achieve our revenue or receive our cash flow basically within 15 days from the date of invoicing.
Okay. Okay. Understood. And
Yeah.
in fact, Ajayji, what Nitin was saying, that you all will be putting out new centers with the fit outs and all related facilities. Tell me one thing: do you have any agreement with any dedicated fit out guy, company, or do you have an internal kind of arrangement with somebody who does it exclusively for us, or it's a kind of a outsourcing agreement with any good vendor? How does this fit out? Because fit out, I believe, is a major cost for us. So, sir, उसके लिए कैसे planning होती है?
So we have qualified vendors associated with us, and that's another thing where we are very strong because of, again, the background of the promoter, Mr.
Yeah.
Gupta.
Yeah.
He has, and believe me, when I say this, I have been involved in multiple construction projects and fit out projects prior to my joining this particular company. And I've seen it firsthand. When I say that a particular thing can be done at a X price, after negotiating with the vendor, Mr. Gupta comes up and tells me that no, it is possible to reduce further, and
Okay.
he already has the supply chain in place for that.
Okay.
So that's another advantage that we bring. But yes, we have a lot of tied-in vendors who are working with us, but we don't have any long-term fixed agreement. We like to kind of compare the quotations before proceeding with any particular fit out.
Okay. No, understood. I think because, at least please correct me if I'm wrong, but I have understood that, fit outs are a major cost component for us. So, and you need to be very fast, in getting this executed, so that is very critical, for our success. So that's why I wanted to get some clarity on the fit out, arrangements which you have. Uh, just before ending, Ajayji, if you could tell now, since the company is going public, a lot of effort has been put by you guys. And now the runway for growth is going to be on the public limited capital markets. Sir, what would be your broad message to shareholders? Because markets are currently very volatile. Obviously, good businesses will continue to grow. They will be accepted by investors. But longer term, how do you plan to actually add value to the new shareholders who would be joining you?
Uh, as a management team, we can assure you that we have a plan in place. We have complete vision of where we are going, and we can assure that there will be complete transparency in the fund deployment.
Okay.
Believe in corporate management, and yes, a lot of compliances were added during the process of going for the public listing. But we saw that we were already geared up towards that because that was the mindset.
Yeah.
So it's wealth creation and sharing as the motto. Definitely, we look forward to longer term investors, and this is only a beginning of the journey.
Yeah.
Once we start this path, there will be additional fund requirement over a period of time also,
Exactly.
and we will come back.
Yeah. I think one final question now, in fact, which is very elementary, we ask all the promoters. See, COVID was a very horrible time for all the companies. In fact, for co-working spaces also, that was a very challenging period. But now normalcy has come in. Typically, the economy is again getting back on its feet. Typically, Ajay ji, what's the most important risk in the co-work spaces segment? Like, पूरा business को अगर smoothly execute करना है, run करना है, so what is the most important variable and which is the most important risk which we constantly need to monitor? If you could please tell us.
The most important part of the thing is maintaining the operation cycle in a smooth running condition without any kind of hiccups, because it's a everyday, day-to-day performance which the customer is wanting. They want a seamless experience, and it's a highly intensive business. We are always on our toes, and we cannot afford any kind of leniency in achieving the customer satisfaction. So definitely, we are geared up and we have the team in place.
Okay. I think very nice to hear all of you. So I think Ajay ji, Madan ji, Gaurav ji, and Nitin ji, it was a pleasure for me. I think very nicely, we could get to understand how the company functions. Sir, please accept my best wishes for the, running of the company for all you and your team members, and of course, best wishes for your public issue also. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Avinash.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Avinash.
your time.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Take care.